Good morning, everyone. It is day 24 of the 31 days of Halloween, and today is Fabric Friday. I'm going to try and get this up as soon as I can, and I'm going to try and make it a short video so that it will go up in time. Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and today we're playing with yo-yos. Now, I have pre-coated one of the tags with Mod Podge and gotten it to dry a little bit, and then I want to come back in. I have these two fabric swatches from Midnight Magic 2 from Moda. I bought this several years ago because a lot of the colors were matching Midnight Tales from Graphic 45. Now I want to put, they're only 4x4 squares, so I've got to divide these up a little bit. So I'm going to start with this one down here, and then this one will come up here. So I've had my iron heating. I think it's ready to go. Whoops. Yeah, it's ready to go. If I need to turn it this way. And I tried to get that glue all the way to the edges. That's the important part of this. And then I'm going to flip this around. And I'm putting the black on the top so it's more like a night sky kind of thing. Normally I would put the heavier tone to the bottom. But I need to go this way. And then I'm going to let this set and cool for a little bit before I try trimming it off, because I want that glue to set. I'm going to set this off to the side. And now today we're making yo-yos. And if you don't know what yo-yos are, they're where you take a quick running stitch around a circle, hemmed circle, and you make one of these. And I've done the smaller one of the two, or the bigger one of the two, and that's how big they are. I used a 2-inch punch and a 1 3/4 punch, and that's what this one is a 1 3/4. And excuse me, it is still early, not even 7 a.m., but I was gone for a play day yesterday. Now you punch out a excuse me, you punch out a template for what you want to use. Now they also have stitch signs, stitch circles that you can use, that you put the disc in there, snap the fabric in, and it does this. But what you want to do is you want to create a hem, and I'm trying to do this without burning my fingers on this little one, but you want to create a hem, and it's not going to be tight. It's just going to come up enough that it's going to give you something to follow, because you're going to inch this around on your form so you can see where you need to turn that. Then you're going to take your template out and you're going to thread a needle and put a knot in the bottom, which I have done here, and I'm trying not to get it to knot up. And then let me pull my glasses up here. Now you can see it's still damp there, and that's fine. I'm going to start over here, and I'm just going to put this up through there, and I'm just going to walk around, kind of pulling this up around that traced circle, just like that. And you want to try and make small stitches if you can. I'm not going to be overly protective of this one. I probably could have done a bigger one, but see, now that one's getting out of shape, so I need to pull this up. And then I need to get back into groove here to make sure I'm not making that too wide. Because if I was using a bigger iron, I'd probably get a hotter press on this, and that would work better. But I'm using the quilting iron this morning. And I'm just going to walk around and do this running stitch all the way around. And it's like you're making a little bonnet. And you're going to have to fold over a little bit, create a little gathers, just like this. My sewing corner is still in disarray, so I was going to dig out the template ones last night and show you how those worked, but I forgot. After I got back from my me day yesterday, I chose to try and beat Bob in Yahtzee instead, which I accomplished. So hand sewing it is, or the hand template it is this morning. And see how I just go work my way around that circle. And there are beautiful things you can make with yo-yos of all sizes. I used to work with a gal at Michael's. Her daughter wanted a yo-yo quilt, and so she did hundreds of these while she was watching TV in the evenings and made her daughter a yo-yo quilt. And it's a great thing to do with scraps because you don't need a very big circle, but the bigger your circle, the bigger your yo-yo is going to be. Okay, so see, I've gone all the way around there, and now I'm just going to draw that up like I'm drawing up a drawstring bag. I'm just going to pull that up, and you kind of fussy with it a little bit. Get your puckers lined up because you want your drawstring to be in the center. Now with this smaller one, it's going to be a little harder to see. I get that, but see how it just kind of pulls up. Okay, and when you get it pulled up tight, then you come back in and make you a little quick knot so that it doesn't come loose. And there you're going to have a little yo-yo. And this one's the one I'm going to use today, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to leave my iron plugged in for a minute in case I need it again. But then we're going to come back and we're going to cut this off. Now I'm going to use my trimmer here because I'll get a straighter edge than if I tried to do it by hand. So I'm going to put my stickies up here out of the way and take my ruler and line my ruler up with the edge of that paper. And this is a circular cutting blade that quilters use. I just need to make sure I'm going all the way through. And line it right up with the edge of the tag base. Just like that. And then I'm going to turn this way. And I'm going to come back here with this. And I'm hoping I have the trim that I want to use over here. I forgot to look and see if it was over here, so we'll see what happens. And there's that. Put that away. Close that up when you're done with it to make sure you don't get yourself. And then, see, this yo-yo will fit right there, but I need my trim there first. And I know in my spool ribbon, I thought I had some black lace, but I have that. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is a sticky ribbon. It was, I'm not even sure where I got it from, but it's about done. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to that just to make sure that it still sticks, but I'm going to snip this off. Give me a little bit of room. And then I am going to run a little bit of glue across there because I want to make sure that that glue is going to stick. Because this sticky tape lace has been in my stash for quite a while. So it's time to start getting it used up. But I can't guarantee that that sticky's going to hold. See, the glue is staying on the paper and not on the ribbon. And that's kind of what I was afraid of. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of that paper. I have a pin here somewhere that maybe I can get in there. Nope, my pin's gone. Okay, so we can use our yo-yo here because I want to get underneath that paper. Because I just as soon have the paper leave the sticky on that ribbon. There we go. There we go. So you can see how it's peeling off there and how it wanted to come off with the paper. And I didn't want that. So I'm going to put this right there. Now that glue will dry clear, so I'm not concerned about that. And I'm going to stick this over here so I don't lose it. We may even use that little one up here at the top here in a minute. And then I'm going to come back here, clip that off. Now I do realize we need a focal point on here, but normally you do this with your gather up, and I'm going to go ahead and use my crafter's glue because it will bond it quicker. Somewhere in here I have a brush, and that's getting pretty tacky in there, so I'm going to go ahead and really give that a dash of that glue because I want it to hold right there. And now I can come back, put my glue away. I think I've got enough glue there to hold something if I choose to go in the middle, but I want to leave that open. I had thought about a button in the middle, and that would be kind of cute. That would be kind of cute. Let's go ahead and do that. I guess we're going to need a little bit more glue than that. I thought I had enough left on my brush, but apparently not. So I'm going to put a dab of that right there in the center, and I'm going to stick that black button right there. And I think we're going to be done with the craft glue. I think I can go ahead and bandage it up now. Now, but we do need something on here, but before I do that, let's clip our corners, and then we'll figure out what we're putting at the top. I'm going to come in here. I don't necessarily need my glue, I just need, let's use this one. And we're going to see if we've got something over here in the My Mind's Eye box that we can use. I also have Tim Holtz stuff laying here. Got my lace creased up underneath. We've done Mr. Bones. Let's see, he's too big. Let's put him right there. Maybe. That jack-o'-lantern's too big, but maybe one of these. Kind of like Mr. Bones, but let's leave that one out. And see what else we have here. Oh, I want both of those. Or all three of those. But that one would work there. And we could tuck that one up underneath. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's save Mr. Bones for another day. See, my thing is starting to come apart because I've got... But I like that one. Let's do that. Well, that one says... I like that one, but I don't think I like this one. Ooh. Maybe if we use the vintage cat. That one has potential. Got my pocket stuffed too full, I think. Maybe. I think I like that. I think I like that. We're going to go with it. So let's pull out our black soot and ink up here. I'm trying really, really hard to use my tools. Really hard. Now this glue on here, it's going to take it a little bit longer to dry onto the fabric, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll work. And I'm going to kind of caulk that just a little bit. And then scoot back up in frame here. Sorry about that, guys. I get it down here where I can see and I forget you can't. And then we're going to put this one right here. And then I'm going to pop him up on dimensionals, but I need More of my bigger black dimensionals. I've used all of those. Another good reason why I should probably put in that Stampin' Up! Order today. Whoops, that's all I've got is the small ones, without digging a little deeper. So, black ones it is, or little ones it is. So I'm going to come in here. Now when I put these down on this fabric, I am going to come back in and put a little dot of glue down with them, because I want to make sure that they're going to stick. And I'm going to have to dig out my bigger dots today. I'm still thinking there's a Stampin' Up! Order in my future. And today is the last day for free shipping. So if you've not looked, you might want to check them out. They have the holiday catalog is still available. Now, what do I want to do with that top? Hadn't decided. But you know what? As soon as I find my thread and see where that little yo-yo went, it has potential. Here it is. It has potential. And the smaller they are, the more you have to really fuss with them. But I don't think I want... Oh, yes, I do. Let me anchor this off with another knot so it'll quit coming out. And I know what we're going to do with it. There we go. Okay, now I can come back with my ribbon shears, snip that off. And I've decided I'm keeping a needle and thread over here beside my kit, so I know where it's at. But if I put that one up here, I can reverse it and go here and just use that for the pull. It's kind of tiny though, kind of tiny. But let's take a piece of this so I can get it to turn loose. I don't want to use the lace. I'm going to have to come back here and kind of pull that lace off. It's really tucked up under there in the glue. I'll have to fuss with that later. But I am going to go ahead and I'm going to stipple this in place with my new swing line. It's kind of like the tiny attacher, but it uses regular staples. And I'm trying to make sure that I get it in there. And get both of them. Nope, I missed that one. Okay, so let's come back here and make sure we get him in there too. Nope, don't like that at all. So let's pull that staple out. Put my cheaters on so I can see what's going on here. And I'm going to go ahead, and I really want that to stay there, but it's really hard to get that in. I think I got it this time. I do. Woohoo! And then I'm going to come back from the other side and do a cross. And then I'm going to glue this one on the back with the, to cover up the staples. And I'll put this little yo-yo on the back, but I'm going to turn him upside down. So I really need to make sure I've got plenty of glue on the bottom of him. So he will cover up the staples just like that. Because I hate my staple prongs showing. It's a pet peeve of mine. And that's going to take some work, but it'll dry there. And that's going to be our tag for day 24. Day 24, the 31 days of Halloween. I will see you back here tomorrow for SACs Saturday. In the meantime, please remember to like, to share, subscribe, and creative spooky blessings.